That is the goal of this podcast, is to raise awareness, to help you learn about yourself, to inspire you into action with intentional vision, and to help you recognize that there is not just one way. When we're struggling, when we're feeling like we're forcing something, it's time to pause, slow it down, to reflect, to take a break, to allow the mind to rest and tune in to the other aspects of your awareness, your heart and your soul and your spirit, to listen to your body. It has messages for you, and to find the hope, to believe, to have faith that no matter where you are on the right path. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of openness, a shift in perspective, hearing something, allow you to try something new, to take a risk, to turn a corner and come home to your passion, your purpose, your vision, and your mission. What do you love about your job, about your work? What show or shows are you currently binge watching? These are the questions that I asked to some of my favorite psychology friends, and I am sharing that with you today in honor of and celebration of Psychology Week. How fun is that? You know how much we love celebrating here. And so we are going to get into some really fun answers from some of my favorite people, and I'll tell you mine as well. Stay tuned. Welcome to the podcast, Empowered by Design. I'm your host, Dr. Liz, a licensed psychologist and owner of Visionistas by Design Wellness Boutique in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. This podcast is about the power of connection and a proactive approach to mental health and overall wellness. It's about finding and owning your power right now and using it for good by nurturing the connection of body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit. Empowered by Design podcast delivers psychological concepts and practical strategies with a real-life approach, designed to empower health and wellness, optimal performance, authentic connection with yourself and others, and purposeful, joyful living. Be well, live empowered, dream, design, deliver. Hello, and welcome to the Empowered by Design podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so excited to be here and to be talking to you about this fun topic. At the very least, you're going to hear some fun recommendations for what we're watching. Some of my favorite shows, some of my favorite people's favorite shows, and even better, you get to hear about our celebration of Psychology Week. I'm so excited. This is the first one officially that I've ever known about. I'm excited to talk about it. I'm excited that, I love celebrating. If you've listened before, you know how much we love celebrating here at Visionistas by Design. I am Dr. Liz. I am your host. And I am so excited to be with you, to be connecting with you today. One of my favorite things about my job, my work in psychology, is the ability to have this podcast and to deliver psychological concepts, strategies, tools, tips to make life fun and healthy and to feel good, to feel well, to feel empowered, to live the life of your dreams. That is one of my favorite things about my work currently, and I have lots of favorite things about this this field, when I think about that question, what do you love about your work? I think I can be honest that sometimes I take for granted the fact that I absolutely love what I do. And I know that that is not true for everyone. It's just a fact. We don't all love our jobs. And I've been in those places before where I've had to do jobs that I did not love. But it was a means to an end, and there was a goal, a vision, a dream in the future, and the job was part of that, part of getting to that goal. So I'm really excited to talk to you today, not only about what I love about my work, but I asked a few of my colleagues, friends, favorite people who are also in the field of psychology, psychologists, mental health, and I am going to be sharing with you their answers and a little bit about them as well as their TV / Netflix / all the different kinds of platform shows that people are watching and binging right now. But of course, before we get into it, we have a little bit of snacks and apps to attend to. I love to just go over what we are working on currently at Visionistas by Design. So if you are listening to this episode on the day it comes out, which is Thursday the 21st, right in the middle, towards the end of the Psychology Appreciation Celebration Week, then you are hearing it on the day that we have a workshop tonight. The Fun Love program continues tonight. It is a series of workshops. The fun part about it is you can listen to one, you can listen to all of them. If you sign up, even now, even though we're on to number 3, you will get the recordings of the other workshops that have already happened in this series. So the Fun Love program is designed to help you in your relationships. So your couples relationship, your romantic relationship is the primary focus of this workshop. And we want to help you make your love fun and healthy. So it is called the Fun Love Program. The first workshop in the series was talking about communication, tips for getting on the same page, because that is something that we struggle with in our relationships in general, and especially in our romantic relationships, whether you are married or partnered or somewhere in the middle, somewhere around that, we struggle. And not only in those relationships, but in family relationships, work relationships, friend relationships. So communication is key, and that was the topic of number 1. The second workshop was Stop Stressing, Start Envisioning. So we talked really about how to avoid stress that is avoidable. And of course, we know it's not all avoidable. Life is always going to be throwing stress our way, and how to manage effectively and in healthy ways the stress that comes with everyday life, the ups and downs of life, and then the power of envisioning your goals, your dreams, the future for yourself individually and with your partner, right? So this workshop series, again, was designed with fun, romantic, partnership, love in mind. And we are so excited to be offering the next one, which is tonight, if you're listening again on the 21st. And Aliya Kenyatta, our date coach and relationship specialist, will be heading up. She is going to be leading this workshop tonight about enhancing your intimacy in your romantic relationship. So she is going to talk about what is intimacy, what does it mean, the different kinds, because yes, there is more than just one kind of intimacy. So think about what you thought of when you heard the word intimacy, and recognize that there's more than just one. And so she is going to talk about those types of intimacy and also how to enhance it, how to be aware of it, build awareness, enhance your connection, your love, your intimacy, and your relationship, and to address the blocks to intimacy. So So excited for that. Our last workshop will be in a few weeks. It will be talking about how to navigate family love upon generations, across generations. So thinking about caring for children, caring for stepchildren, blending families, caring for parents and loved ones, and also how to navigate and balance that work-life responsibility. Can be so overwhelming at times, especially in this stage of our life right now with such a change over the past couple of years with COVID and pandemic and the shutdown and working from home and coming back into the office and balancing it and new possibilities opening up because of it, and really just navigating all the change. And we are going to be helping you with that. So check that out. You can find out more about the Fun Love Workshop and other things that we have to offer at our website, visionistasbydesign.com, and also at drliz.com. That's drlyz.com/funlove. That talks about the Fun Love program. And it just helps me lead right into what I love about my work as a psychologist. I love so much. So primarily the work that I do has been in therapy, in providing therapeutic services, therapy individually, group therapy, which I love. The magic, the power, the things that come when you connect in a therapeutic space with others is such a delight, such a powerful experience, validating, healing, helps healing and growth. In the therapy room, I am in awed by the people that I work with in the therapy space who come in and even when they don't want to, right? Because therapy is not easy. It is not an easy process. It is meant to, at the end or throughout the process, the trajectory is upward, and the idea is to be healing and growing and empowering a life of joy and balance and love and connection. And one of the things that happens in the therapy space is that we scoop up, we look at, we examine some of those very painful experiences in life, some of the things that as humans we naturally run away from, we avoid, we ignore, we deny, we push down, we shove it under the rug, we shove it in the back of the closet because it's hard, because it's painful, because nobody ever told me I should talk about this, or nobody ever asked me about this, or nobody ever said, hey, let's have a conversation. And I love that about my work. I love the courageous bravery, the power, and the complexity, the going deeper into the levels, the body, the physical presentation, manifestation of our experiences, good, bad, pleasure, pain, and being able to tune in and just to see the power of when you know about yourself, when you learn about yourself, when you raise your awareness of your own experiences, how well you do, how much more fun and enjoyable and balanced life can be, how your relationships flourish and your connection is authentic and beautiful. So I said body, but here we talk about our experiences, body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit. And that is one of the things I love most about my work, is being in connection and collaboration with people on this journey of life, and just kind of helping in the ways that I can, to build awareness, to build insight. I'm very insight oriented in my therapy work with clients, again, the better you know about yourself, the more you know, the better you are equipped to handle the things that life throws at you, the ups, the downs, the celebrations, and also the things that are stressful. And so that I love about my work. I love so much as well in the last couple of years in private practice. So I came from a training program that incorporated therapy and also outreach programs and workshops. And I just was so fortunate to have an amazing training program where I came from. Not only my schooling, but the internship program, the practicum programs that I engaged in, and learned from amazing mentors, supervisors, colleagues, peers. So many people have touched my life, and that is what we are doing here at Visionistas, is building up and expanding our services to incorporate those other aspects that psychology offers, the workshops, the outreach, the programs, the tools and strategies that don't need to happen or can also happen in a coaching way, that is in proactive and preventative care. So that is something I love so much. What I love about this podcast is the reach, the delivery of these really important tools, strategies, and information beyond the therapy room. I love my work, love it, love the one-on-one, love the group therapy aspect, and also love that there are tools and platforms like this one that allow the strategies, the information, the science of psychology, the spiritual nature of psychology, the emotional and mental and physical lessons that psychology incorporates to help us as a humankind to, again, live our best lives. I just love the delivery of being able to do that in a broad scope. So I love so much my work, love it, love the possibilities. I am an ideas person. If you have listened to these podcasts before, you know I have tons and tons of ideas. Some of them stick, some of them don't, and some of them come back. So I'm very excited about that as well. So really here being able to be in a collection, a team of other professionals, other women who share this passion. So Vicky and Aliya and Hannah, who also share this passion for helping other people flourish and heal and grow in this life. And so we love to be in connection with each other and help each other in that way. And we have lots of programs to help you do that. So check us out. If you're not following us, you can follow us on social media at Visionistas. So that's the word vision and then ista at the end, Visionistas by design on Instagram, Facebook, and also Dr. Liz on those platforms as well. We also have a Pinterest account, so you can catch us in all of those places, and also subscribe to this podcast. This is, I would say, one of my favorite ways to deliver all the info, all the updates and news of what we're doing, what we're working on, what's coming next is this podcast, and I love it so much. So if you are not subscribed, I invite you to do that so you do not miss an episode. They come out every Thursday, and sometimes I'm here by myself talking like today. And one of the lovely things that I love about this podcast is my ability to have amazing conversations with empowering people in the field and beyond, in the field of wellness and just life. People who have things to share, ideas and strategies, their own life lessons, their own wisdom that is empowering, inspiring, and you can find all of that here. So So follow us. I'm going to talk a little bit. That is it for snacks and apps. I'm getting into Psychology Week. So the American Psychological Association designated this week, so it started April 17th through April 23rd, 2022, as Psychology Week. I'm so excited about this. I love celebrating. You know me. If you know me, you know how much I love to celebrate. And this week is specifically designated as Psychology Week to spread awareness of how psychology is and can be helpful in our world, to celebrate the contributions of psychology in benefiting society and improving lives. Love it. So for more after you listen to this podcast episode, you can follow the hashtag Psychology Week on the social media platforms, Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, to see what else is happening out there in the world, across the world. So even though it's the American Psychological Association that designated this, they picked this week on purpose. So they picked this week because it also coincides with the Psychology Day at the United Nations, which is an annual thing that has happened before. And this year, the Psychology Day is the 15th Psychology Day at the United Nations on April 21st. So today, if you're listening on the day this drops, this year's theme is building hope, psychological contributions to a roadmap for climate action. So speakers come together to talk about the science and practice of psychology, to discuss the latest research, and present evidence-based strategies to help groups become more aware of things that we can do to help our globe. It also coincides with the Veterans Health Administration celebration of Psychology Recognition Week, acknowledging contributions of psychologists who care for patients at VA medical centers. The creation and the growth of Veterans Health Administration after World War II led to a dramatic increase in the need for psychologists to provide care for veterans. So the VA trains and employs more psychologists than any entity in the United States. So happy Psychology Week, Psychology Day. I will read a quote to you from an article that I will link in the show notes from the American Psychological Association by the APA president, Frank Worrell. As the science of behavior, psychology touches on virtually all aspects of our lives. By setting aside 1 week to spotlight the field of psychology, APA hopes to increase the public's understanding of and appreciation for psychology's many contributions in such areas as healthcare, education, research, technology, and the workplace. Ooh, I love that. And that's a really great place, again, to transition into just talking about the broad scope of the reach of psychology, healthcare, education, research, technology, and the workplace. So all of these entities, all of these locations, all of these settings that benefit from psychological research, psychological practices, strategies, tools, tips. And it is so fun that it is such a fun field to be a part of, because it is constantly changing in opportunity and growth. That is part of it, is staying on top of the research and the trends and the evidence and helping people get through things like stress and pandemic and illness and things that are hard, things that are difficult, things that make life hard, and also celebrating success and accomplishments and joy and happiness to help us live with joy and balance and connection. So I'm very excited to be here talking with you today. even just thinking back on my own journey as a psychologist and how far that has come. So in my training, I worked at a college counseling center. I worked at a dual diagnosis clinic, community mental health. I also have worked in correctional psychology. So as part of the medical team, the medical department in local jails, and I'm working with that population. And I always knew that I wanted to be a part of a group practice, so a private practice. That was always part of my dream and my goal and my vision. And of course, you no matter what your goal and your dream and your vision are, where your end career path is, there's lots of steps to take to get there, training and experiences and internships. And along the way, I have met some amazing people, amazing people. And I am so grateful to share some of their experiences with you today, about their work and what they love and also what they're watching. And just to give a little glimpse of the broad field of psychology, as well as what we're doing, what's exciting, how we try to help, and the different ways that we as psychologists and professionals in the field of psychology, mental health, build awareness and help to bring as much as we can information and learning and tools and strategies to you in lots of different ways. So I currently am, working in private practice. It is so fun and helpful to pause and reflect. And if you've listened before, you've heard me say that over and over again and remind myself to do it, because we can get caught up in what's next, where am I going, what's my goal. And that does sometimes get in the way of us realizing what we have achieved, what we have been doing as part of our purpose. And so I invite you today, if you are in a place of struggle, burnout, stress, basically everyone on some level, you may be feeling relief and joy and love as well. But we know that there's always that opportunity for life to feel difficult, life to feel stressful. I encourage you to check in with yourself and reflect back on your successes, an accomplishment or two that you can identify, just to give you some perspective, some hope, some recognition that you have been in tough, difficult, stressful situations before, and you have made it through. We have made it through ups and downs, and we will again. And it can be so helpful, especially if right now you happen to be in a job that you don't love, that you hate, a job that is stressful, to go back to your why, to explore your passion, your purpose, and to do some thinking, do some reflecting, do some pausing. I am so excited, blessed, and lucky to be working with an amazing team of women. So I'm going to start there and talk about why we love our work, our passion, our entrance into the field of psychology and mental health and social work. So I work at Visionistas by Design. It's a wellness boutique in Nazareth. We do virtual and in-person services, and lots of them. So psychology, we provide therapy and counseling individually in groups. We also provide lots of different programs here. So we have programs for wellness, programs for relationships. We are love and relationship specialists. We have date coaching. with Aliya, we have the Healthy by Design program that really targets health and wellness, body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit, as does the Design and Flow program. These are just some things that I've talked about before, and you can check out on the website. Vicky is launching her A New You program to really help women who are who have left a toxic, unhealthy romantic relationship and are embracing healing, growth, and self-love. We do vision board parties here because it is when you talk about your dreams, when you put them out into the universe, when you write them down, when you create art and put them on a board and represent your vision with words and phrases and pictures and images and whatever it is, whatever your soul communicates, those goals, those dreams, those visions take on energy and become more likely to come true, and to see them and to witness them and to accomplish your dreams. We'd love to help you connect, to find joy, and to love yourself more deeply and connect and love others in your life more deeply. What we are watching. So I'm going to go through these. I am currently wrapping up Made on Netflix. I'm loving it. Excited for Ozark to come back. My husband and I watch Ozark. And as you know, if you've listened before, Friends is constantly on the loop in my home. I have watched the 10 seasons over and over. And my husband would love for that to be gone because it's always on. My kids love it. Mostly my 11-year-old daughter is just obsessed. So Friends. Hannah is watching Brooklyn 99 on Peacock. The Ultimatum, which is by the creators of Love is Blind. Aliya is watching Animal. Vicky is also watching Brooklyn 99 and Is It Cake, which she watches with her kids. She was explaining it to me this week, and it sounds like an amazing show. I have not seen it. And I am going to one more time say thank you to my team for talking with me, for providing me with their answers to my questions here of why you love your work and what you're watching. Because it is fun. It's fun to know that we try to make time. We love our work and we make time for balance so that we love to read. We love to spend time with our families. We love to have fun and go out and shop and celebrate. And we also love to sit and watch shows as well. So I also want to say a huge thank you again to my friends and colleagues who I have connected with throughout the years, who took time out of their busy schedules to humor me and answer my questions. And I'm going to just go through the list in the order that they responded to me, tell you who they are, what they do in the field of psychology, and also what they're watching. So you can hear me moving my computer. I have a little glare on my screen, so I'm going to try to fix that. There we go. So my friend, Dr. Kristin Bertsch. Kristin and I met at our grad school interviews, and I remember my first impression of Kristin was like, oof, that girl has her stuff together. She was very impressive, and it was so much fun to both be members of the cohort. We both got accepted and made it into the program, and we have shared lots and lots of love and life experiences together. So thank you, Kristin. Kristin is, she works at the New Jersey Area Health Education Center as the Grant Project Director. where she trains health profession students to work in medically underserved areas, particularly students that reflect the identities of people living in medically underserved areas. She also works as the Community Service Learning and Leadership Curriculum Director for medical students to help them gain awareness, self-awareness, knowledge, and skills to become culturally humble and competent physicians in their future practice. Wow, I just love reading what my friends do. It is so amazing whenever we get on a Zoom call or we connect in person, which is long overdue. It is so much fun just to hear the amazing things that they do. So I'm in awe. What she says about what she loves, she says, I love that I get to hear about people's lives, their story, their trauma, their resilience. I feel really lucky. I love teaching medical students about how to be more social justice oriented and inclusive in their practice, doing my small part to hopefully help close healthcare disparities. Ooh, I love that. And also, by the way, I'm going to be asking these people to come on the podcast. So stay tuned, follow the Empowered by Design podcast, because this is just a tiny little snippet of what they do. And I cannot wait to interview them and have them come on here and just really, I say interview, but we just chat. we just chat. So, that will happen in the future. I'm so excited to bring them to you in the future so we can hear more about these amazing things that they do. Okay, what is Kristin watching right now? Dropout, The Girl from Plainview, Abbott Elementary, and then she asked me if I have any true crime recommendations. Okay. Yay! Thank you, Kristin. Next up is Dr. Stephen Sell. He is a licensed psychologist and owner of Healing Path Psychology, LLC in Bethlehem and Allentown, Pennsylvania. So he is local in the Lehigh Valley where I am. We connect often. I guess often, as often as you can. So one thing about being in private practice is it takes intentionality to connect with colleagues. So mostly we were doing that at conferences, and of course, as the rest of the world, we have done it mostly virtually over the past couple of years, and I'm excited to connect again in person. Stephen and I met years ago when we were both working at a dual diagnosis clinic, both of us pre-doctoral level, doing our hours, getting our training, learning, and just finding our path. He is now an amazing owner of an amazing practice that is focused on dual diagnosis, substance abuse disorders, trauma healing, and he has an amazing staff with him. So thank you, Stephen. And what he says is, what I love about our work is that people often surprise me. We can be slogging along, working at something for like a year, and then one session they just walk in and wham, they've suddenly made a major life change. Like when a client walks through the door, says they took the leap and got a new job after years of being at one they hate, or they pulled the Band-Aid off and ended a toxic relationship, or they finally decided to take a risk and go to a support group after a year of talking about wanting to connect more with other people. Or even when a client tells a goofy joke or shares some kind of amazing technical knowledge about their field of expertise, and you see a side of them you hadn't before. He tells a little story, like when I had a client who was a sports trainer who saw me moving around my stiff shoulder to no relief. He asked what was wrong, and I said it was just an old injury. He said, it's anterior impingement. Do these kind of stretches for it. And in 30 seconds, he told me what it took 2 doctors, an MRI, and many physical therapy appointments to figure out. Oh, I love that. I love yes, we learn and grow right along with you. So that is amazing when we get to connect in those ways, and it's It is so touching, so powerful. Thank you, Stephen. He says, I'm currently watching Severance because I love sci-fi, and this one really blends it with psychology in a neat way. My go-to is The Good Place, and I'll throw that on and rewatch it frequently. It's the only show I rewatch. It's a comedy that's secretly about moral philosophy, human nature, and existential issues. Thank you, Stephen. Can't wait to connect with you. My next snippet is from Dr. Shalena Heard, a licensed psychologist, a National Register Health Service psychologist. Shalena was actually a guest already on this podcast in episode 19. We talked about eating pizza and our connection. The title is Singing, Dancing, and Eating Pizza, a proactive approach to maximizing your mental health. So you can learn more about Shalena there. We actually also met in grad school as students in different cohorts, but we have stayed connected, and I just love when I am in the presence of Dr. Shalena Heard. She is amazing and fun and brilliant, and just so inspiring. She is a staff psychologist in the neuropsychology department of an outpatient hospital setting, and also serves as the clinical director for Young Adult Substance Clinic. Woo! Love it, love it, love it. Something fun, something she loves about her work is empowering and meeting people from all walks of life and learning from them as they learn from me. It's a little theme here. What show are you binge watching right now? I asked, and she said The Sopranos. Laugh out loud. She is rewatching since she was younger when it first aired. Thank you, Shalena. Next is Dr. Sepideh Soheilian, also known as Sam. Sam and I also met in grad school. She was in the cohort 1 before me. So we took lots of classes together, but we also worked together at the College Counseling Center at Lehigh University, where we were in our education and our doctoral program, and shared many tears, laughter, ups and downs, programs, learning and growing, and conversations, and just so much. When I was on internship, she was a doctoral resident. We had lunch together every day, us in our little group, her husband Dave and the other intern Amanda. We had an amazing time together and miss each other so much. Sam is the assistant professor at the University of Baltimore, and she says something fun about her work is, I love working with students, especially training future mental health counselors. So Sam and I get a chance to connect on a regular basis, about once a semester, so probably twice a year formally. Sam has invited me to be a guest speaker in her classes with grad students in the mental health field, to talk about different topics. So last time we talked about mindfulness and really just different strategies that we use in our work with clients, and also to talk about the aspects of going into private practice. So thank you, Sam. And what is she watching? She said the last show that she binge watched was Ozark. Same. Okay. The next one is Dr. Val Spector. Thank you, Val. Val is a staff psychologist at the University of Pennsylvania College Counseling Center. Val and I also met in grad school. And one thing that I will love to always remember and can't wait again to do is Val and I would share our dreams with each other, like the ones we have at night. And then we would explore them, interpret them. And every time we saw each other, it was like, I have a dream to tell you about. And we have a shared passion for interpreting, exploring, and talking about our dreams. Val says, something I love about being a psychologist is being continually amazed at how complex and resilient people are, and being able to witness their life journeys. Oh, yes, it is an amazing, as I said, it's an amazing privilege to be invited into the lives of our clients, to stand with them, to walk with them, to shed tears with them. Yeah. It's emotional. Very, very, very powerful experience to do what we do. And we have you to thank, our clients and the people who share their stories, bare their souls, and we witness it, and we help you grow and heal and add to your skills, add to your strengths, and increase that resilience and use it and appreciate it. Val is also watching Ultimatum on Netflix. The Ultimatum, like Hannah. Okay, next up is David Zelaya. David is a postdoctoral research associate at Brown University School of Public Health, and he is also a research fellow at Harvard Medical School. He's amazing. David and I also met in grad school. There's a theme here too. And just last week, and so he did not tell me this when I asked him this question, but we follow each other on social media. It is hard to get together, right? We're busy people. So just as I was saying, I love when we do get together, whether it's on Zoom or in person, we just get to catch up and hear what are the amazing things you're all doing. Is that thankfully for social media, we get to follow each other and see sometimes those announcements that come out. So I recently saw an announcement from David that he co-authored a book focused on the history of colonization, trauma, and presenting concerns for Latinx communities. The book is called ¿Quiénes somos y de dónde venimos? A historical context to inform mental health services with Latinx populations. Congratulations! That is so exciting. I just love celebrating my friends and colleagues and all of their amazing things. David says something that he loves about his work is, I love connecting with people, whether it be within a clinical or research setting. I stay true to my identity as a psychologist, trained as a scientist practitioner, and I believe there is so much more work we can do to be more effective in linking science with clinical practice and vice versa. One way to do this is by centering the voices of the individuals we work with to ensure the science stays grounded in the needs of the community. Oh my gosh. Well, let's read his book. Yes. To all of that. I love it so much. I love that some of my friends are so into research. It was not my favorite aspect. I did not love writing research papers. And that is the beauty of psychology. There are so many different, just as in lots of different fields, there are different aspects and different opportunities within it to do what you love. And sometimes you also have to do things you don't love, of course, with any job. But it is fun when you can balance and really just love your work. Okay, and then David says, I am currently watching the new season of Bridgerton. Loved it. I watched season 1. I am not going to lie. I was really sad that Simon, so the actor Regé-Jean Page, was not coming back for season 2. So I actually last week I went and watched like the first minute of season 2 and I was like, not yet, but I will. I loved season 1. Okay. Last one of my friends who shared what they love about their work in psychology is Dr. Lynn Liu. She is the director at the University of Memphis Student Health and Counseling Services. Ooh, Lynn and I also went to the same grad school. We met. Lynn and I worked on a project, I will not remember the name of it. But we worked on a grant project when we were students together, and we co-narrated a video lesson on navigating difficult conversations, which is something that is so important in our lives, is to be able to talk openly about things when they're uncomfortable. That is what we do in the therapy room for sure. And then to take that to another level, to help other people do that. So we put together a video, we had a grant, and our program at Lehigh was very, very dedicated to, as you can hear from these collection of colleagues, I say students, we were students, that I worked with that are doing amazing things around, diversity and celebrating differences and researching and allowing the voices to be heard of all different people and populations. And we put together a video that illustrated some things that happen, that people, comments that are made that are not positive or can be oppressive, can be offensive. And sometimes we absolutely need to build awareness around those things. If you don't know, then you can't make positive change. And so that was our goal in that video, navigating courageous conversations. Now that I think back, I will try to find that old video and link it in the show notes. But that is one of my most favorite memories about Lynn. We laughed so hard during that. And I've also had so many memories since visiting her in Memphis and just having amazing connection with Lynn. Okay, so here is Lynn's answer. She says what she loves. Something I love about being a psychologist is that I get to engage in so many different roles, do many different things, and learn every day, all the while helping people, clients, therapists in training, employees, and even systems. Particularly with every client I work with, through their challenges and growth in therapy, I feel like I see the world with a little more clarity and a lot more humility. Oh my gosh. Yes. Again, love these. Yeah, it is so true. We learn, we get better. We become better people because of our work and our continued effort and passion to grow and learn. We are lifelong learners. And that is one amazing thing about this field, is that we are in a field that is passionate about continuing to learn and continuing to research and continuing to deliver the findings and the implications for this world and for all of us. So yes to all of that. And then the shows that she watches, she says, I watch a lot of sitcoms, currently Blackish, Home Economics, to name a few. She loves to rewatch The Office and Golden Girls sometimes. And she says, I also just started watching Our Great National Parks on Netflix and dreaming of visiting every U.S. national park, one at a time. Love it. Love it. Thank you for listening to this episode. As you can see, I am blessed with a lot of an amazing group of friends and colleagues and friends. And I hope that this talk was, that you got something out of this talk. I trust that you did. That is the goal of this podcast, is to raise awareness, to help you learn about yourself, to inspire you into action with intentional vision, and to help you recognize that there is not just one way. There is not just one way. When we're struggling, when we're feeling like we're forcing something, it's time to pause, slow it down, circle a bit. It's okay. It's okay to reflect, to take a break, to allow the mind to rest and tune in to the other aspects of your awareness, your heart and your soul and your spirit, to listen to your body. It has messages for you, and to find the hope, to believe, to have faith that no matter where you are on the right path. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of openness, a shift in perspective, hearing something like something you may have heard today, to allow you to try something new, to take a risk, to turn a corner and come home to your passion, your purpose, your vision, and your mission. There is not just one way, and that's another thing that I love about this podcast is inviting guests on to share their ways, their inspirations, their stories, their methods for healing and bringing healing and growth to you. So I invite you to check out some of the episodes that have come before, the amazing people who have joined me here behind the mic to talk about their work and their passion, and to subscribe to this podcast and stay tuned because there are amazing things to come. I'm going to say that at some point in the future, you will hear from each one of these people on this podcast. I'm going to say it. I don't know if they're going to say yes, but you know that I ask, I give time, I ask again. And they are amazing people who have amazing things to share. And so I invite you to stay tuned to hear more from them. Thank you so much for coming back, for tuning in and listening, for supporting this podcast, for sending energy back out into the universe, for taking these tips and inspiration and sharing them with yourself, with your loves, with your friends and your colleagues. I invite you to share this episode with someone that you love, someone that you think would really benefit from hearing it today. And happy Psychology Week. Follow the hashtag Psychology Week to hear more from around the globe of the amazing things that professionals and students and up-and-comers in this field are doing. We are so grateful to be in a space to love our work and to bring it to you in a beneficial way. Thank you. And I cannot wait to connect with you next time. I am Dr. Liz. Thank you for listening. Take care. Thank you for connecting on this episode of the podcast, Empowered by Design. For further connection, subscribe to my email list at drliz.com to be sure that you are in the loop for exciting news, events, and resources. You can also follow me on social media at Dr. Liz and at Visionistas by Design. I invite you to subscribe to this podcast and send this episode to one of your people in order to share the love, spread the power. This podcast is designed to inspire, educate, and empower you to pursue your dreams with intentional vision. This podcast is not meant to be a substitute for psychological treatment or a working relationship with a licensed mental health professional. For more information on connecting with mental health resources in your area, visit drliz.com and click on resources. Thank you again for connecting, and remember, Trust the heart. Work your vision. Dream, design, deliver.